Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry I'm late. We're running out of milk and ciggies again, so I had to stop at the... Whoa. Brendan, you okay over there, buddy?
I can't. This pink-haired boy. I need help. Can't do it again.
Justin, should we be concerned about this? What's he mumbling about over there?
Oh, Bread Boy? He's just exhausted from all the flashbacks we got these episodes. We had a Kobe one like 4 times in the set alone. I think he's just trying to process it all.
Pink hair.
Okay, but he is not doing well, dude. Should we give him some water or like a hard reset or something? Maybe some Lola waifu pillows will get him back in shape. He's white as a ghost, dude.
Don't worry, Christian. I got this.
What do you got planned? Justin, what's up with the really big needle?
Now, my precious loaf, I give you life!
Namichua!
What the hell did you just do? Did you just make him Japanese? Why is he screaming for Nami?
Oi, Marimo, damare baka.
Oh, you made him Sanji. My worst nightmares have been made real. Oh, God.
Onna no nanida no uchiro doshita.
Quiet, you. Justin, change him back. You change him back right now.
You know, I'm actually not sure. How did he learn Japanese? But anyway, no, I think it's better this way. If you don't like him, just distract him with a woman or something.
Fine. Better than dealing with this stupid ass for the rest of the night. Hey, Brendan. Look over there. Tashiki's going with Hina to the next beach episode. Go, catch him.
Yeah! I love ladies!
Are we ever going to see him again?
Justin, for your sake and mine, I sure as shit hope not.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, we got there.
Boot up the backup version of him.
All right. Oh, yeah. We go back to the... I'm sorry. Hey, I'm back.
There we go.
Continuity. Yeah.
Now, if only we could boot up the previous Kuma version.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you, kids, he's in there.
He's in the cloud, dude. You know, he's all right. There's like that dusty backup over in like Vegapunk's. You know, you imagine like he gets like coffee every single day. He like left it on top of the coffee maker or something like that. It's just collecting dust.
Yeah. Just completely forgotten about Vegapunk. Just somebody's going to stumble upon it in like 100 years and go, what the hell is this thing? And why does it look like the save icon on Word?
No. You know what's going to happen? Somebody from the government's going to be like, hey, Vegapunk, we have intel that suggested that Kuma was playing us all this time, and he was actually a member of the Revolutionary Army. We're going to need you to bring us any backups you have of his memories so that we can prod them for information. And he's just going to look at him, coffee in hand, and the biggest fucking deadpan expression.
I don't have that file anymore. I tossed it, actually.
Backups that I made. Definitely.
Right.
I have those.
The government goes back and goes, it says here, because we made sure at the time of changing his personality that you made sure to keep any backups of his memories. And he's like,
did I?
But like, you didn't actually think I would, right? That was more of like for posterity.
Or like a suggestion, you know?
I just kind of wrote that down to get you off my back.
I didn't think you would want the old Kuma back in any way, shape, or form, so you know.
It just didn't seem relevant at the time. And it's like, I'm sorry to hear that or say this, Dr. Vegapunk, but we're gonna have to dock your pay.
But you're under arrest.
Yeah, you're under arrest. Oh no! He's like, I already worked for you. Like, what are you gonna do? And then
you're under arrest for the obstruction of justice.
Work harder. Justice. But anyway, yeah, no, we watched some One Piece this week. Any of you guys interested in reading the summary before we get started?
I will do it this week.
Oh baby, I'm so
good.
Fucking excited.
I can't wait to see how he reads this.
Oh boy, I wrote it too.
I know.
Ooh, baby.
Okay. The battle rages on as the pirates break through Wall Maria in the Bay Area and step foot onto the main plaza. Crocodile has affirmed his allegiance to making sure the Navy loses by taking out Ace's executioners. Things seem to be going well for the Ace Retrieval Squadron, and so Marco the Phoenix makes a play to fly to the platform. But before he can make it, an irritated Garp steps in and with one swift punch, Marco is knocked out of the sky. But this isn't the end yet. Despite a battered Luffy losing his steam, the Whitebeard Pirates are still in the fight. Whitebeard himself is holding his own against the menacing Akainu. That is, until his body betrays him. Not once to let an opportunity pass him by, Akainu spears his magma fist straight through the chest of Whitebeard. And with one distraction comes another downfall. Marco is shot down, Jozu is frozen solid, and morale is quickly fleeting. Despite his best efforts to power through it all, Whitebeard is brought to a halt. As the tide begins to turn in the Navy's favor, the new executioners arrive at the platform and they're wasting no time at all. 2 swords in hand, 1 head hung low, and the bell begins to toll. But before Ace can meet his fate, our resident rubber boy Luffy saves the day with a burst of Conqueror's Haki, knocking out the executioners and damn near all of the Navy forces. Perhaps the victors of the war have been decided in this one instance. Find out next week.
Ching ching. Yo. Can I actually say one thing though? Cha-ching. Can I actually say one thing though? So I was watching these episodes and I genuinely forgot. Okay, so for context, I remembered that Luffy was going to do the Conqueror's Haki thing and knock out a couple of guards, and I was expecting that. What I completely forgot about was the crocodile assist at the start, and then I was like, wait a minute. And I actually had to I was really distracted because I'm like, I have this vivid memory of Luffy knocking out the executioner guys. What the hell? Only to find out that crocodile did it, and then I was like, oh. They did the double these ups.
my boy thought he got Mandela affected. He was like, what do you mean Luffy didn't knock these people out? Conqueror's Haki.
You know,
I was 100% Bernstein Bears. 100%.
Bernstein bears, you mean?
Whatever the fuck it is.
Bernstein Beards? What?
You don't know about this?
Whichever one makes it. Oh, yeah. Do you not know the Bernstein bear thing?
Oh, no, I do. We were just saying different words, and I just said beards.
Burn
beards. What a coincidence, because I also watched these episodes and then forgot about what I watched.
Oh no.
So I watched my episodes yesterday, and Wednesdays are really long days for me. So and Thursdays are kind of hard to pack stuff into also. So I have been watching my episodes the day before we record lately. But yesterday, I got no time to sleep. Normally, I'd fit in somewhere even a 45-minute power nap or something. I got 0 time to sleep. So I was essentially up for 18 hours or something like that straight with only dinner in my stomach.
Okay.
Anyway, I sat down to watch my episodes and I made it through most of the first one. No, I made it through the first episode and then 5 minutes of episode 2 and I knocked out. Yikes.
Okay.
And then I woke up though at a little after midnight maybe, and the episode was paused. I guess somewhere in my sleep cycle or just before I passed out, I hit the pause button, and so I wasn't on episode 530 for some reason as it autoplays. So I woke up and I was like, oh God, I don't have time to watch my episodes now. I got to go to sleep so I can go to work in the morning since I work so early. So I closed my laptop and everything and went straight to sleep. And then I got home at the end of my day today, and I sat down. I was like, time to watch those other 2 episodes. What happened in the first 2 again? I skimmed through the first episode. I was like, okay, I actually remember this, and this, but I didn't remember a goddamn thing from episode 2. So I rewatched episode 2 in its entirety. And thankfully I did, because if I had just gone through, I mean, there's not a whole lot that happens in episode 2, but there's a couple moments that happen in episode 2 that are kind of before 476 that are fairly important.
Was 476 the one with Ace's extended backstory for a quick sec?
No, that was 77, 78. 76 is the at the end where Garp punches the shit out of Marco and then sits in a Kainu's throne.
Oh yeah, okay. Garp coming out and being like, hey, I'm here, guys.
Hang on, Ace. I'm coming for you. He's flying! What are you waiting for? Shoot him down! Marco's down!
I've been here the whole time.
I've been here the whole time.
Struggling with my emotions.
It is a little jarring, though, like, seeing these episodes, and, like, he was big chilling there next to Sengoku the whole time, but then, like, the moment he, like, throws the first punch, everyone, like, stops and goes, like, oh my god.
Wait a
That's
minute.
the guy.
He's fighting too?
What's a big idea? I never gave you orders to start fighting!
We're doomed! We have to fight Monkey D. Garp!
This can't be good.
The legendary Navy hero!
Garp. If you want to reach the scaffold, you're gonna have to make it through me first! Stupid brats.
What a beast, though. He sits down in Akinu's chair. He's like, hey, by the way, just so you know, I could be an admiral, but I don't because reasons.
Because I'm kind of a problem.
Actually, maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's like the kind of dude where he's in the military, and I always thought of it as he didn't want to be an admiral, but maybe the real reality is he couldn't be an admiral because everyone in the military that's above him sees him as like a what do you call it? A problem, essentially.
Yeah, he's a
maverick
risk.
of the One Piece Navy.
He is an inherent risk to the name of the good name of the Navy.
But also, it's a pirates all alike. So you gotta pick some, you lose some.
He also might just be like too old for the role, I guess, in the sense
Surely
that
not.
they want. Well, no, in the sense that they want these young. Well, I guess Akainu's not a spring chicken either, but they want these younger guys to kind of represent the face of the strongest of the Navy, maybe. But I mean, again, Akainu's no young chicken either, and presumably Kizaru isn't either. He doesn't look super young. So anyway, ignore everything I said in the last 30 seconds. Anyway, yeah. Where are we going with any of this?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You're the one trying to forget the last 30 seconds of speech, but we can go wherever we want with
the last 30 seconds of what?
Right. I completely forgot. So anyway, moving on to Whitebeard and the rest of the team. So in these episodes, I know at one point you guys were talking about like what's Oars going to do for the remainder of the fight. Well, he helped bring a boat in, and then he croaked again.
And then died again.
Yeah. Although the boat attack was it was neat. I questioned how Whitebeard was casually just like I assume he was drowning until the boat like picked him out of the water, and then they just like rampaged through into like the main lines or something. But other than that, I'm not really sure what went down there. They kind of just skipped to Whitebeard being like, yes, I have an ace up my sleeve. And then Boat has brought them inside. And then you cut back to the center of the bay, and there's literally like no ice remaining whatsoever.
Right. But it doesn't matter anymore because none of the pirates are there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. We're moving on, baby. Back into the fight.
Yeah.
And then Jozu and unfortunately Marco also got massive licks in these episodes. Poor guys.
Mm-hmm.
We did get cool confirmation that I think Devin maybe asked this a while back when they first revealed Marco's power, but he can indeed like heal himself in some capacity. That is until you slap a pair of sea cuff prison on
I
him,
feel like
and then
we
he
knew
just
that
goes
already because he fully ate Kizaru's original attack when we revealed Marco's power in the first place.
Maybe, but in that state, it feels more like he's just kind of like ethereal fire being kind of thing. This is like he's hybrid form, so like he that's his real stomach, base form. He got shot through, right? And
yeah, I mean, maybe it didn't like scream anything, weird to you in the first place. But something strange about Marco is that because he's a phoenix, and the way that they do it in the series, they basically just give him like he's just another ace, at least on paper. Where he just like is made of fire, only it's blue or whatever,
He's just
blue and yellow, whatever that.
He's
essentially.
better. Really making him better ace, by the way, because blue fire
really.
hotter.
Yeah, do be just like a better race at that point. I mean, all things considered.
What's all the slander about?
We have yet to see him throw fire. To be fair,
this is true. He may or may not have the ability to just like cast Fire Beam or whatever the fuck it is in Pokemon Land, Fire Blast. But up until now, it's been like he's been like this weird hybrid of like kind of Logia, where the fact that he's made of fire, he can just ignore attacks in the first place. But then simultaneously, now I think what Justin was saying is that the confirmation is that if his body did take real damage, he could just casually be like, I burn the pain away because Phoenix,
Right.
which is like also better Ace in my opinion.
Yes.
All I'm saying is Marco's pretty fucking sick until you slap some Sea Prism stone cuffs out of him,
Right.
and unfortunately he do go back to being a spring chicken. And we also got Jozu getting frozen over, although he gave Akainu a smack once at one point. And of course, Whitebeard got a big fat blowout to the middle of his chest, and he's doing great. He's walking it off.
He's trying to walk it off anyway.
I don't know, man. It's just a flesh wound.
He's
He
like,
doesn't care.
this is gonna take more than this to take me. More than this to take me.
To quote the man himself,
You punks really think that's all it takes to defeat me? Just a few toy swords and guns? I could tear you all apart single-handedly, but you know that, don't you? Because you quake when you hear the name Whitebeard!
twist but a flesh wound.
I won't die from such a small flesh wound. There is a literal
There's a
hole in
hole.
his chest.
There is an Iron Man-sized hole in your chest right now.
Which is directly above the stab wound you got that went straight through you also. Just, in case we forgot about that.
Yeah, nobody
could
forgot
forget?
about the stab.
Well,
Who
he's
could
got more
forget the
important
stab?
things to like the other 7 stab wounds he's got now.
Yeah, so in addition to, by the way, Akainu was the one that jumped him and fucking blew a hole throughout his chest with his magma powers or whatever. And as soon as he did so, other like Navy fuckers come out of the woodwork and they're like, "Oh, look, he's weak. Let's all stab him. We can all do it together." And
Just fucking dogpiling on him with blades and then a couple cannon shots to the face. And it looks like he's about to fall back as he probably should. And then he just clutches his thighs. He's like, and it's just smoke poofing past his face from the fucking explosion.
He kind of like Michael Jackson's his way up though.
yeah, he does.
He steadies his back foot again. They do the thing where like, oh, he's gonna fall over. And the angle they make it look like his legs are going at, he should have absolutely fell over, but then he steadies his back leg down. At which point you should just be standing again, but instead they take him from like a 45-degree angle and they
my other favorite part about this too is that at one point, okay, so after he gets up and he goes like, you can't knock me down, I'm fucking Whitebeard. There's a bunch of like goons that are still attached to him. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, if he's going to do another big attack, maybe he'll like, swat him off. Maybe they'll run away. Maybe like, give him some justification to like wind up a new attack or something like that. No. He straight throws his next blast with 2 goons still hanging off his chest.
I think all of them were
attached.
still there. Like all 6 or 7 of them were still just hanging in there for some reason.
It's like a bunch of little gnats that are like still just like hanging out of me. He's like, allow me to wipe this away.
They're just right there, front row seat, just watching their battalion just get swatted away.
And holy hell, does he swat them away? They go to the moon, dude. They all high-fived Eneru on the way. And then they plummet back to Marineford land. And I mean, they're all fine realistically. None of them are dead from that fall, but
yeah, anime has no fall damage. Never has.
No, 0 fall damage whatsoever. I love when we keep. I mean, I hate it, but we keep flashing to Moria, who is always cackling, going, "Dead bodies everywhere!
For me.
Dead bodies everywhere!" I'm like, where? Which one? You see, the only one's Oris. All I see is Oris.
All I see over there is Oars. Because we can't count that.
Not that you could do anything. All you can do is absorb the shadows. You can't like put them in more zombies. You can't make more zombies. You're the other
Well,
guy
I mean,
for
he
that.
can because we've confirmed that it's cloudy outside, So
right. That's true.
So you can grab some shadows from some fuckers and throw it in the oar's body or something like that. Could you imagine though? What if he actually did? He was like, "Hang on, let me just like grab some schmuck's shadow really quick," and then he threw it in oars. But remember what happened when they did it on Thriller Bark? He like wasn't in control for a while, and we had like the Adventure of Oars. What if we had the Adventure of Oars numero dos?
Now we're talking.
Christian's like, now this is the filler.
This is the
life.
peak content that I've expected out of One Piece.
God fucking damn it, I hate it.
But nobody's dead anyway, so it's not like we can't do this.
Man, yeah, no. At least nobody that we've seen is dead yet. I mean, you can assume that there's like fodder placements or whatever. I don't know. Maybe. All the New World pirates that were like getting annihilated by all the pacifistas in the back, they're just like, "Hi, we're here now too." And then Senamaru's there, and he's like, "Son of a bitch, I thought we killed him." And he's like, "Pacifistas, do your thing
Which
again."
I don't know how they didn't. They had a 1,000 pacifistas roll up like they own the place.
After they melted the ice, they all fucking sank into the bottom of the ocean. They just wasted all their best resources, man.
I mean, I don't think did the wall encompass the entire area that the Whitebeard Pirates and allies were? I feel like the wall didn't completely encircle all of them. I feel like some of the pirates got left out.
But the pacifistas were only like walking towards them via the ice. So once you get rid of the ice, I mean, like, what happened?
Yeah,
surely
so
the government's not willing.
Was like an open gap, but like that gap is being stuffed with Sensomaru and like a million pacifistas progressively walking toward the impenetrable wall that people are being sandwiched by,
I don't know, man.
Right.
I think this is the government's plan all along. They were like, all right, so we'll use the pacifistas as the back wall, push them in towards the middle, then we'll drown them from there.
Exactly. Yeah, and just nuke the government resources that we put all this time and effort into and probably cost a small fortune and can actually take out one pacifista could take out a pirate crew by itself at no risk of maybe human lives.
Some fucking schmuck with like a lance for some reason jabbed Kuma earlier in these episodes, and then that one Kuma was like, I have been stabbed, and then blasted 2 more pacifistas.
I'm pretty sure that one lost its head too, right?
Because remember,
crowbarred?
Yeah, I think it did actually. I think you're right. But remember how hard it was for the Straw Hats.
Yes,
to accomplish the same feat. And now this no-name random allied pirate is like, I stab and I rip this guts open of this pacifista.
I see where you're coming from, but I want you to remember back and think back at this context. Those particular like 3 goons that rolled up on those pacifistas and like fucked them up, they like came in like acting like hot shit. It was like, yeah, the new, like they were just kind of like touting their shit as like, we're New World pirates, and like we're supposed to remember that like the New Worlds is, the next level up for pirates, right? Like these ain't your just average Joe Schmo East Blue gangsters, right? Like these are supposed to be some hot shit dudes who can do stuff, right? So I feel like for me, that issue that you're presenting is like subdued by the fact that like, oh, these are supposed to be like good pirates, you know what I mean?
It would
all
be
from
kind
the
of
New
sad.
World.
Yeah.
Every pirate there is from the New World. They all rolled in with Whitebeard.
Yes.
And plenty of them were getting murked by the...
Well, okay, think about
I
it
don't
like
think
this.
just calling them New World pirates is enough justification. There are plenty of them that got murked.
Hold on now. When you've got literally 100 pacifistas in the back that are all blasting at the same time, and there's distance between them, so they can't close the gap, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a fucking problem. It's like rolling up on a tank when there's 100 yards between you. If you're right on top of it, at least you can throw a nade down the chute. The first
introduction of the Allied pirates to these pacifistas was a bunch of them, well, at least one of them running up to it with a club and breaking the club on the Kuma's face.
He went for blunt force damage. He didn't have the piercing damage, all right? That was his fuck up.
I see. I'm the idiot there.
Was that you? It's the guy with the club, right?
I don't know where the outrage is. I would hope that some of the New World pirates could take a couple of these pacifistas out, like here now and again. I mean, otherwise, like, what fucking good are they? They're here for nothing then if they can't even at least do that.
They're here for fodder.
They're here to save Ace. What are you talking about for nothing?
They're here to be extras that we kill, quote unquote, on screen for dramatic effect.
I mean, fair. But Squad was also here to stab Whitebeard that one time, so...
Right.
Okay, now that we're talking about Squad...
And now walk away menacingly.
Yeah, what do we think he's going to do? Like, did he just, like, straight up abandon the battlefield, like, out of shame and says, I'm going to just go home?
No, nonsense.
I don't think so either, I'm just curious.
I don't think he would do that. Maybe he'll commit seppuku, though.
He just, like, right there on the battlefield, he's just going to, like, go into the...
I actually think that a potential... I don't remember what the fuck he's going to do, because, who the fuck cares about Squad after he got his hug from Dad? I think he's gonna meet up with Mr. 3 down in the fucking computer room or whatever you want to call it, and like lower the walls and like just give everybody, I guess, like an opportunity to like escape, or I don't know. But I
don't
feel
think
like
anybody is here to run away at this point. I think if they were gonna run away, they would have done it a while ago.
But like lowering the walls, do you feel like it'd be like a worthwhile thing if, assuming that they save Ace, which I know what team you're on, but just bear with me for a minute here. If Ace is saved, I mean, a retreat is probably in order. Yeah, no,
yeah, that is.
Okay.
You're right, but
we know your disposition. We understand that.
No. I get that. I'm putting that aside here. I don't. First of all, I don't know how Squad sneaks in. Like, where does he go to sneak in past everybody? I don't even know how Mr. 3 did
get
it.
in there to begin with.
I don't know either. I don't know. I can't explain that to you either.
If anything, Squad doesn't need to sneak through. He just fucking walks in there with his big ass sword and just goes swish swish.
There's a lot of obstacles in his way. I don't know, dude. Yeah, sure. Maybe Squad goes in and drops the walls down, but they also, I don't know. There's a lot more obstacles here than just like the walls, I guess. I don't know. I want to since we brought up Mr. 3, when we're bringing up the new executioners, there was a part of me that thought the smaller executioner was Mr. 3 in disguise.
Okay, I'm so happy I'm not the only dumbass who thought that was going to be a possibility too.
They make a big deal. I wouldn't know. How dare you call yourself a dumbass? This is big brain territory. They make a big deal, maybe not a big deal, but they make a point most of the time to show basically none of the smaller executioner's face. And then when we're up on the platform and you kind of start seeing the other one's face, it sort of looks like he's got the same facial hair and general body structure as Mr. 3. So when the swords were coming down on Ace's neck, part of me was wondering.
You were like, okay, so it's 3. He's gonna stop the other guy, and then everyone's gonna be happy, and then Sengoku's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, but then even in the same split second, I was thinking to myself, yeah, and there's no way Mr. 3 would put himself that at risk. He's out of here.
Okay, here's my thing.
He's big out of here.
I didn't think it would be like a volunteer thing. I think it would have been like he got caught, kind of, sort of, by some goons in the base, managed to maybe subdue some of them, and he decided to disguise himself, but didn't think it through. Or, you know what? Fuck it. No, roll it back. He just ends up in like a supply closet, right? And he's trying to disguise himself, like, okay, before I get caught, let me like see if I can hide myself as a Marine. Puts on any random uniform he finds in this closet, doesn't recognize the fact that it's an executioner's uniform, and then, Captain Joe Schmo's over here is like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? We need you on the platform right now. And Mr. 3's like, who, me? He's like, yeah, you idiot, we got execution to perform. And he just tosses him the sword. He's like, oh, okay.
I will say, this is actually really funny. If that was 3, though, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that he's like on Team Luffy. He's on Team 3 all like through and through. So I want to like play devil's advocate. If that was 3, homie would 100% try to cut Ace's head off. He would not, and I repeat, not take the risk of getting caught while being up there. He's like, you know what? I'm
here.
I'm gonna lay it.
There's no backing down.
I'm an executioner now. And then we follow 3's journey as he continues being an executioner for the Navy for the rest of his life.
It's a better story than Django.
He gets a taste for blood. He relishes executing people now.
That's the cover story we should have gotten. Oda, you fumbled.
There's still time. There's still time.
There's still an opportunity. We might still get that 3 cover story. His journey to become an executioner.
Brendan wanted executioner guy backstory a while back, and now we can, if this becomes truth, we can have a good reason for it.
Is this This is only the second set of executioners, though.
Yes.
Okay. The original set, they went on a smoke break and never came back until like three hours later.
I mean, that's a good point, actually. I never did go back and see if, like, I mean, they're very generic looking men, but I never did go back and see if the original executioners that walked them up there were the same as the ones that attempted the first execution of Ace.
I would assume that they were. I don't think they were ever taken. I think they just took their snack break for
and then
an hour and a half, and then came back. Yeah, and then they got iced by Croco in the quarter mile or whatever. And did I also hear some shade from you guys saying that Crocodile's the weakest warlord? What is this nonsense?
Well, I proposed at the time.
These other two were saying. I was meaning to imply that Moria is the weakest one.
That is what we settled on. I proposed at the time, not really thinking about Moria and the true nature of his ability, that Crocodile would probably be the weakest of the warlords. And then one of these two said Moria, and I was like, yeah, that probably makes more sense. I would classify Moria as the weakest warlord.
I think they were caught up in the emotions of like just how like Crocodile's kind of become a jobber in this war. Like he just kind of keeps holding L's to people. Like if not a hard L, just like people are kind of like silent on him or like, you know, shitting on him. You know what I mean?
Listen. Crocodile is like Frieza. All right. He was like the big endgame baddie in an early arc, but if he ever put his mind to it, he can unlock that golden form, man. I'm telling you, Crocodile he's late stage material.
Speaking of getting shit on, the absolutely disrespect of Doflamingo to just decapitate fucking Whitebeard.
No,
Crocodile. Sorry. Wrong guy.
He like walks up to he's like behind Crocodile after Crocodile knocks out the guards or whatever, and then he's just like, oh, here, let me just literally take your head off. And then Crocodile's like,
I can't believe you would have teamed up with me. How could you do this?
I can kill that old dying buzzard whenever I feel like it. But as for right now, I'm not gonna let you taste victory, you and your crooked operation.
You would reject me and then team up with Whitebeard?
I haven't teamed up with anybody. I'm just here to make sure the Navy holds the L. I don't give a shit about Whitebeard.
He's like, I don't have any stake in this game. I don't give a fuck about that kid up there, but nothing would make me happier than watching Sengoku slurp these
in
L's.
In that moment, he's talking directly to Sengoku, because Sengoku addresses him and he goes like, of all people, I didn't think you would be the one to stop this execution. Yeah, they're kind of
like expecting Crocodile to kind of like more or less work in their favor, and Crocodile's like, nah,
by trying to fight Whitebeard the whole time. But Crocodile eventually comes to his senses off screen somewhere that the Navy not winning is more important than killing Whitebeard now, and he expresses that there. So he just he stares up at Sengoku with those cold, dead eyes of his and just gives it to him straight.
Remember those goons on Whitebeard's ship that he was petrified of? The ones that put their swords to it. They had a really good talk with Crocodile, and honestly, I think that he's turning his life around. You know,
they're New World pirates after all.
They are New World pirates. Not only are they better fighters, but they're great therapists.
they're all doctors. They need to be if they're on Whitebeard's ship.
Yeah, have you seen the size of that fucking crew? Jesus.
No, have you seen the size of this guy's mesothelioma? They all better be doctors, so that man ain't making it another mile.
That man needs a whole surgical team of doctors. He needs a whole fucking ward dedicated to him.
Yeah, he's got to have like an entire boat of doctors just devoted to keeping his ass
Bro, the
alive.
Moby Dick is not even like an actual pirate ship. It's a glorified floating hospital, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just a hospital.
It actually used to hold the 20 doctors from Wapple Land or whatever.
The 20 MDs.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It all makes too much sense. Oh, you know that makes sense because the Moby Dick, the 20 MDs. It all comes together. The 20 MDs that sail the sea on the Moby Dick.
The shit writes itself.
Oh my god, we found the connection. I'm telling you, dude.
I have one quick question for Brendan. I don't know if you could answer this, but maybe you do. Do you know the process of getting a question submitted to Oda for an SBS?
I think it's literally just the same interviewer like all the time.
But like,
There's,
I assume those are like fan questions that got like mailed in or something like that. Maybe I'm mistaken.
I mean, this is my recollection, and honestly, I haven't read a new SBS in a hot minute. I've read all of them at one time or another, minus maybe like the most recent 10 volumes. There's one interviewer that he constantly interviews with, who's very rambunctious and always comes up with these wild fucking questions. And I think that he gets fed a lot of random questions from time to time. And then periodically Oda will chime in and be like, hey, I got a question about this one thing. And here's my answer about it, or something like that. And then if he ever gets like private questions, like he'll answer them, but then also like if it just so happens that it overlaps with a question from that main interviewer guy, he'll be like, I got a question about this one time, and this is what I told them. And then he just moves on.
Gotcha. Because the reason I ask about this, because I was listening to today as we record the episode for our podcast, the one where Akainu, or one of our episodes, Akainu intimidates a Marine, and you know these two animals think the Marine's perfectly fine and was given a leave of absence by Akainu. Me and you are clearly on the same page of that dude's just fucking melted, right? I wanted to see if I could write an SBS question to Oda and be like, hey, Oda, I'm on a podcast with some friends and they're a bunch of idiots. So I need you to confirm on chapter so-and-so / episode blah, blah, blah. This happened. Can you confirm if this soldier is dead or alive or not? And I'm just really banking on Oda giving a shit, just answering that in SBS someday.
No, sometimes like the questions are so fucking outlandish. Like the interviewer guy, and also this is, mind you, my impression is that it is the same interviewer, but it might be a different interviewer, but they just have similar energy all the time. I think it's the same interviewer every time. The question will be like this long drawn out paragraph, be like, Oda sensei, I have this like burning question that has been like keeping me up at night. I have to know the answer to this question. I thought about it. When you know how you gave Luffy the ability to stretch, and you gave Buggy the ability to like to dice up and fly around. Well, I thought about it a little harder, and you know how Luffy's balls can stretch. Can Buggy's can he make his, And then Oda goes like, yes, Buggy's balls can fly. like straight arrow, like straight edge, no filler, no fanfare,
bullshit.
Just like, yes, Buggy's dick can fly. So fucking dumb sometimes.
I feel like our Justin's question about this totally alive Marine isn't quite as ascendant tier as that kind of question, but I feel like it's ridiculous enough that somebody could get this to Oda and we can finally have a real answer, so we can confirm that guy is still alive and actively participating in the war and will go home to his loving wife and child.
He is big fucking dead.
Not even a little bit.
We sat here and watched a guy get hung from the tree by Robin, but you cannot believe that this guy evaporated
because it happened
when he
on
got
screen.
Magma'd. There was a pool of magma on your goddamn screen.
Yeah, but where's the body?
Melted. What is so hard to understand about this?
Did you see Akainu throw the magma at the man? No.
Oh my god!
I am going to
Akainu.
I want this.
Was just
debate is going to
dripping
show up
a little bit of magma, and the guy
oh my fucking God.
was on screen, and then he wasn't. And then there was just a pool of magma. There's no proof.
This is the biggest boat of nonsense I've ever heard in my entire life.
It didn't happen on screen.
Dear listener, if you actually
It's
know the process of
golden
how
rule.
SBSs work, or if you don't, if you could somehow get Oda to answer that question for me, I'd love you eternally. Please and thank you.
It's the golden rule. You can't just go against it.
Golden
It has
rule.
to happen on screen, or it
All right,
doesn't
well,
count.
moving on.
Yes,
You know what? One nice thing that we did get in these eps is I really don't even mind having more flashbacks for Ace. I like seeing the dichotomy and his relationship with his blood father, as seen by the world around him, and how he feels being in the position that he is in these episodes. It was very, I guess, I don't want to say eye-opening, But it helps expand on the storytelling narrative when they make this main mythos like hero guy come up as like, no, but actually like everyone fucking hates him like deep down. Like he started like this pirate era. He's like the worst person to ever exist. And anyone who likes him is probably a fucker too. And then Ace is like, where the fuck does that put me?
Yeah,
no.
But it seems I'm mildly interested because in these moments, it feels like Ace is actively defending his father, but he currently hates his guts. So I'm wondering at what point Ace comes to despise being the son of Roger, because one would assume that if you were the son of the greatest pirate and you also became pirate, you'd be really happy with that. And I mean, maybe I'm just fish braining this, and it was explained because I feel like I remember something about it kind of loosely being explained a few sets back, but I don't know. It still feels a little strange to me that this would be his thought process here. What would have really happened?
I mean, this is supposed to be like that the complexity of his character, right? Like, I mean, as a child, you know, he has to come to terms with knowing that Roger is his dad, right? And he has to recognize that various people in the world have opinions on what is arguably the
and he
most
fights every single one of them.
Well, right, but okay, so now put your mind in, or put yourself in the shoes of a guy who hasn't accepted, you know, his place in the world, nor his relationship with his father that he's never met, who happens to be the most famous person that ever lived or whatever. And maybe he is defending him in some vein, but then at some point, you know, as he got older, like a flip switched, and maybe he wanted to find something for himself more, or maybe he found so much respect in Whitebeard that he felt comfortable putting aside any attachment he had towards his dad in the past. And I mean, this goes back to like, this is his trauma. These are the challenges that he faced as a character growing up. I mean, he's not just he didn't have just like a single line from point A to point B. I mean, he had to, they're giving you the complexity through this of like, okay, well, maybe he didn't always hate his dad. Maybe he had a bad relationship about his dad and he didn't understand it. And eventually he just grew to be like, all right, well, fuck my dad. I like Whitebeard though. He's pretty tight.
Here's my understanding or my reception of this complexity. What I see is a little boy who doesn't know shit about his dad, right? Because his dad's dead. And he knows he can't announce his relationship to it's his relation to Gold Roger. And so he's just trying to find somebody who knows anything about his dad. And it's like, hey, you know, codedly, what do you know about my dad? And people just kept shitting on him. They're like, he's scum of the earth. He's this, he's that. And, you know, I think the first time he hears that, it's like, okay, whatever. And, you know, maybe there's a little bit of like him defending his dad's honor just for one reason or another. But then it just keeps happening. He's like, dad's shit. He ain't shit. He ain't shit. He's scum. He's scum. And I think a part of that gets like internalized because he just sees himself as, you know, an extension of Roger. And then that leads us to, you know, his outbursts. And then it leads to that conversation with Garp where he asks himself, like, do I deserve to live?
Old man.
Yeah?
Tell me the truth. Did I deserve to be born, or was it just a mistake?
That's not for me to say. You just keep living and hope you find out.
Because, you know, if my dad is, you know, hated by the world, then, like, how am I no different, right? He just internalized that for one reason or another. And then, you know, it was really touching. Like, Garp's just like, you can only figure that out. You can only figure out if your life is worth living by living. And I think that's deep in of itself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Is that a fair assessment of things, Christian? Do you have comments?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I think I can see the process here. I'm just, I don't know. Something in me still feels like it, you know, he kept hearing all about this from people who weren't pirates, but then he makes the decision in his life to become a pirate, and all he hears from the pirates is that Gold Roger's like the greatest dude ever. So I feel like at some point something could have switched back. You know, like he hates Gold Roger all the way up to this point, but it feels like there shouldn't be any reason for it at a certain point.
I mean, he grew up. He didn't leave the island until 16 or whatever the fuck his age was at the time, or 17. I'm not entirely sure. And in that time, like we see Ace in these present episodes at like the age of 6 or some nonsense like that. And it isn't until 10, 11 years later that he eventually goes out and tries to like make his own life and make himself. And I think that as a kid, he grew the ambition to be a pirate less to like do anything about his dad and more to make a name for himself. I think it's more like how Justin was saying, where he hears all of these like all this feedback about who Roger was from all these schmucks. You know, pirates or not. Some of them were pirates, some of them weren't. A lot of people just have an opinion on Roger, as most people do. I mean, we didn't see his reaction towards people who praised Roger, but maybe at some point it was the extension of, I don't want to be known for being the shit can of a person that my father was. I'm going to make a name for myself, which I think far overshadowed any desire to be like, I like my dad again. I mean, at the end of the day, like he has to, the only knowledge he has about Roger personally is it's his dad. He gave himself up to the government to supposedly start the next pirate generation and chose not to stick around to be a father and orphaned this poor kid. And he has to come to terms with, where his place in the world's going to be from now on. I don't know. I just don't think it's that simple of it's not a very easy equation. I don't think that when he grows up and finally becomes a pirate, he's just going to be like, oh man, look at all these people that like Roger. I guess he's an okay guy after all. Like he's got a lot of internal turmoil that he's had to shelve and burden himself with in the course of his growing up, which he still didn't deal with before he became the first second division commander, whatever the fuck it is, on the Whitebeard Pirates. I mean, when he found Whitebeard, he's like, I'm going to kill you. And then like his crew showed the slightest bit of kindness and he's like, are you my dad? like dude's still trying to like figure his shit out long into the series that we know him today in. So I don't know. I just don't think it's not a very simple problem to solve, I suppose.
To chime in, and this might be a bad comparison, honestly, but I see something of a loose parallel with the relationship between Boruto and Naruto, if you're even slightly aware of how that works. Naruto in the Boruto universe is, the hero, the savior, the messiah, whatever, right? Like everybody loves Naruto. He's a Hokage now. He's great. The people love him, but he has an estranged relationship with his son, and his son resents him for it, right? I see a parallel with that between Ace and Roger, where it's like Ace didn't have his dad, and whether pirates loved Roger and everybody else hated Roger, that has a bit of influence. But I think the main impact there is that like Ace just has daddy issues and he hasn't figured out how to fucking resolve them yet.
Yeah,
and he never will.
He got some daddy. Yeah, he will. Give him time. And he's got all
of 10 minutes.
He's gonna be fine.
My boy's gonna get off that platform. He's gonna make it out of Marine Ford. He's gonna go get some therapy, all right?
Therapy? There's no therapist in this world.
It just so happens that the entire Whitebeard Pirates are all very accomplished therapists. Oh my fucking god.
That's so stupid. All right, we spent too long on this borderline meaningless conversation.
Nah, it was beautiful. I loved it.
The last main thing that happened was of course the bit inspiration, Luffy getting jabbed with one more set of steroids before he went to go chase up after Ace. And then also punched the shit out of Kobe. Poor Kobe, man. That guy
ate some shit, I tell you what. That man was filled with ambition. I also think it's really weird, like Kobe's role in the war, where it's like he's a rival to Luffy and he admires Luffy, but his core value is that like he's a Marine or Navy personnel, whatever, and Luffy's a pirate, and they are diametrically opposed, right? So he has to fight Luffy. And like during that run-up sequence and the flashbacks and everything, in my head I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get how you could like admire Luffy so much and then still want to get in his way in this particular moment. Like, the dude is trying to save his brother. How do you not sympathize with that enough to just be like, fuck it, I stand aside, all right? I'll become a great Navy.
No, he works for the government, man. He's not going to stand aside. This is what he wanted.
I don't know. This shit's weird.
Look, dude, if Garp can do it, then anybody can do
Garp
it.
for this, by the way. Fuck Garp.
You know, eat shit, dude. They're doing exactly what they're meant to do in this point, all right?
Out of here.
The goal here is to be the Marines and be a show of force and remove pirates, regardless of how our protagonists are and how we see them and view them as an audience. At the end of the day, they are pirates, and Marines are supposed to be the good guys. That's supposed to be the fun part as we audience play with in these episodes. But yeah, whereas Garp, who's literally about to watch the death of his basically grandson, of course Kobe's just gonna be like, all right, well, if he's got the resolve, I gotta find the resolve because this is the team.
I think it's all bullshit. I don't understand how Garp goes from like, damn, I understand my principles against piracy, but like Ace is family, and then he's sitting there conflicted and
what's
being
he gonna
neutral.
do? Is he gonna break him out? Honestly,
if anyone
I think
can do it,
he
he
should
could.
do if he was going to act. I'm okay with him being a neutral party in this entire event. Of him he just sits there and lets destiny play out, right? I'm okay with that. If he's going to become an actor in things, I hate the fact that this is the action he chose. That's all I'm saying.
That's a wall. Listen, he adamantly tried to convince Luffy and Ace not to become pirates, okay? Like, he attempted. He did everything he could, and they made their own choices. You know what happens when you make a choice that goes sour for you? You deal with the consequences, Justin. You have to deal with the consequences.
And all I'm saying is Garp was still in position to do something, and I think he made the wrong choice.
You are asking him to go AWOL, which is not what his character would do.
I think him being... Because even Sengoku said, like, I didn't ask you to do that. And Garp just said, fuck you, I don't need your permission. And I'm like, I hate you. You had the green light to just sit there and do nothing, and you would suffer no consequences.
Actually, okay, that's kind of fair. Okay, that's a good argument.
It's quite a fair point.
That's a decent point. But yeah, but he wanted to punch Marco for taking his son into piracy or something. I don't know. Or his grandson.
Garp can eat shit right now. I'm mad at him.
Aw, baby. I'm just kidding.
My God.
I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, before we get away from this, fuck all the flashbacks. We're really getting Uchiha clanned here with all of these goddamn Kobe flashbacks. I hate it. I'm not gonna get any angrier because I'll do it for 5 minutes and no one will listen to it. But it's absurd. It's absurd what they chose to do here.
They at least added a couple of seconds every time they did it. I noticed that.
Don't add. Subtract. We're looking to subtract. I'm trying to subtract seconds here. I'm not trying to add seconds here. I want it to go as quickly as possible. I want to blink and have the flashback be fucking over. I don't want to watch Kobe cry like a little baby after he admits he wants to be an admiral to Luffy and company. No, I don't care. I didn't care the first time it happened in these sets, and I didn't care the second time it happened, and I didn't care the 7th time it happened. Shut up, Kobe, and stay on the ground. Before this moment, I appreciated the perspective that Kobe gave during all of this because it was kind of nice to see the perspective of someone who is basically no better than a random schmuck be, watching the battle unfold. It's like any other movie when we flash to someone and everything's going in slow motion as their friend gets cut down in front of them and a bunch of people are dying, blood is flying everywhere. That's the kind of perspective Kobe gave with a lot less viscera and gore, but at least we were seeing a different side of the war, namely the Navy side, from the perspective of someone who was very conflicted about fighting in the first place. It was kind of nice. But then we get all of these weird moments of Kobe being like, yeah, I decided I want to go fight Luffy now. Why? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, what's wrong with that? The part where he tries to challenge Luffy, that this is his resolve. This is his Okay, now I'll give you the flashback. The flashback's fucking excessive. Kobe, you need to stop that. All right, stop I just imagine whenever you see that in anime where like a character is just like stun locked for like 5 minutes at a time and another dude's like poking him like, are you okay?
Hello?
And then a guy in the background's like, no, don't worry. He's just reliving a flashback. It'll pass.
It's like that's the second time today.
You literally just did this, Kobe. Seriously, stop with the flashbacks. That being said, this is just like Garp having to face the resolve. What team am I on? What kind of person am I going to be and where am I going to move? Okay. He had the internal struggle and the conscious decision that, okay, I am a Marine. I need to act against pirates regardless of my relationship with Luffy. That is, okay, disagreeable, maybe. Commendable is the more important thing here. He made his choice.
I don't know about that one.
Made his choice. He assessed the situation and he stuck to his guns. He did exactly what a character who decided he wanted to be a Marine would do in that situation.
I think you could be more nuanced than that. I think you could want to be a Marine, but like still have the nuance, complexity of like, you know, I have my beliefs of right and wrong, and right now they're being conflicted or contradictory or blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I'm mad at Garp. I'm mad at Kobe too. They made their decisions, and like you said, they're disagreeable, and I hate them for it. Maybe I understand, and like fine. Logically, it's like it falls in line with their character. Like, I guess I can see that. I just really don't like it.
Oh,
you're starting to sound like Devin.
I know.
Me or him?
You, Justin.
What? How dare you?
You're just hating a character for being their character, which is, to be fair, something we all do. But Devin on this podcast is the most explicit about it.
They made a choice. They made a life-altering choice in this particular moment when they chose to pivot or, you know, double down. They doubled down on the wrong card for me. All right, I am with it. I was on the Garp and Kobe train because I thought they were really cool characters. You know, them being a Marine doesn't really bother me. But now, nah. They crossed the line.
Like, I need you to double down, and then he sees what they do, and he's like, not like that.
Yeah, but on the other bet.
Exactly.
Garp is a much more interesting character for this parallel. Kobe's very one dimensional. He's like, I want to be Marine. Luffy's my idol. But also he pirate. I must fight pirate.
Is that one dimensional? Because I for me that inherent contradiction / conflict makes him more complex. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
I think it makes him more complex, but I see that like maybe I think honestly the flashbacks really muddy the
1.5 dimensions. 1.5D.
He's not moving on a 2D plane. He's moving on a one. He's a dot that sometimes gets to move in space or sometimes gets to move in time or something. Oh my fucking god! All right, we spent a lot of time on that. The last main thing that happened is Buggy's the greatest, and that's all I have to say about that.
Future King of the Pirates, don't you know?
Future King of the Pirates, and probably also going to be the one to kill Whitebeard because reasons.
At this rate, I'm sure he'll find a way to accidentally kill Whitebeard. Yeah, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for this stupid show.
Fucking love it. Oh yeah, Luffy also used Conqueror's Haki on the new Executioners. If we haven't talked about that,
on the everybody
battlefield.
Yeah, on the everybody, not just the Executioners.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And then everyone around's like, uh-oh.
That was the Conqueror's spirit. Like Pops and Shanks use.
Damn, that kid is full of surprises.
I don't think he realizes what he just did.
I tell you, boys, we got some scary stuff right here.
That's no bueno.
So I gotta ask, like I mentioned in the summary that I wrote, how are we feeling about this, you know, massive shift? Like, Is this it? Is this the Pirates kind of taking the W, or like
I don't
too soon
think
to tell?
this is absolutely does not secure a pirate W here. There's all of the admirals who have gone untouched. They are fine. All of these pirates are fucked up. Garp is
he do be a
fine.
little right.
Sengoku is fine. Maybe a couple of random vice admirals and other Navy officers that have good enough hockey built up or whatever are fine, but the powerhouses of the Navy have gone unscathed the entire time they've been fighting on this battlefield.
Hold on, Aki Inu bled from the mouth after Jozu shoulder checked him that one time.
And where's Jozu right now?
Frozen.
He would be frozen.
Right, yeah.
He's thawing out currently. All right, he'll be back in the game soon. Don't worry.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he now?
Yeah. He's
Is that how is that how Aokiji's power works?
Hey man, he's out in the
if
open.
it worked for Buggy and Co, it'll work for him. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
I haven't seen anybody place Jozu in the boiling hot water right now. If anything, that water is no longer boiling. It's been sitting there for enough time that it would have cooled off.
Well, wouldn't salt water potentially, raise the freezing point and then he would just melt slowly, maybe?
Actually, salt water, I think, has a higher boiling point.
Salt water do be having a higher boiling
it would
point.
raise
I gotta know that.
Or would it lower it? It would raise the freezing point, so then...
Actually, wait. No. No, if you add salt, it boils faster because I know that because when I make pasta, I add salt to the water to make it boil faster.
Well, there you go.
Fun fact.
Well, then it also probably cools down faster.
I
someone
could not
who
tell
has
you
a better remembrance of chemistry.
Nobody cares. We're not talking about salt water anymore.
No more salt water. Man, I lost my fucking train of thought. Oh yeah. Okay, so assuming that Ace dies as you proclaim, will happen. So are all these pirates just going to jail then? Like, is this it? Like, what is ending this war? What is getting Luffy out of the jam then? How about that? That's my question. What gets Luffy out of this jam if Ace dies?
Everybody haul ass and find a way out of here.
Luffy sure as shit doesn't. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's probably Jinbei that gets his stupid ass out somehow.
Okay.
The question is, like, what does he do with him? I feel like the potentially logical thing to do is to bring him to Fishman Island with him, but I also don't know how he would do that without drowning Luffy. Maybe we just like, I don't know, maybe we get him a diver's helmet and work with that from there.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess that works.
I don't know. I feel like Ace dies, Luffy loses all will to do anything. He falls to his knees or something and he's unresponsive to any external stimuli, and he sits there in depression and has to be picked up by somebody, and I think that somebody is going to be Jinbei.
This is a very sad image you're putting in my brain, by the way.
It's what's going to happen. I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
This does not happen. You are an idiot. You are a fool.
No. This is exactly how it happens.
No, okay.
I've read the script.
You read the script?
I wrote the script, actually.
Oh, shit.
Wow, trust me, if you wrote the script, we wouldn't be having this podcast, right? The show would be garbage.
All this complaining for something you wrote then, huh? Jesus Christ.
I wrote the A script. The part where Ace dies script, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So
I'm not responsible for anything else.
Jordy wrote the Boa script then, I take it.
That is probably that is highly likely, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Understood.
He said it. He said my name and he didn't get it wrong.
But of course, how could I?
Shower me in sweet gratitude, my love.
You have my thanks.
Yes.
Oh, and Hancock?
Yes.
I owe you my life.
Yes!
Boa Hancock.
I never gave you permission to address me in such a manner!
Yeah, I following that logic, I think it's probably Jinbei. Jinbei's been with him. I mean, technically, Ivankov's been there for longer, helping him out, but I feel like Jinbei is the one who's most capable of getting Luffy and Luffy alone out of there over
Jinbei
anybody else.
he really do be like the extra homie for the majority of Luffy's attempts at saving Ace.
Yeah.
As soon as Jinbei got out, he's been like giving Luffy like, yo, dude, dog, we should do this. We should do that. I'll help you with this. He's good.
I wouldn't be surprised if going forward in the show that Jinbei becomes a much more regular occurrence than outside of this arc. Like Jinbei is absolutely not going to just disappear from the story for like 200 episodes. I feel like we're going to see him pretty consistently.
So what I'm hearing is Jinbei's going to become a Straw Hat.
No, I wouldn't go that far because he does have his own pirate crew to manage. He's just kind of like here helping out Luffy. So he's not going to be a Straw Hat, but he would fall in the vein of like how Whitebeard has his allied pirates.
All right. We're moving on. We're going to move on. We've talked about everything else in the eps. Does anyone have any raging things to mention before we move on?
No, I think I'm okay.
All right, good. Next week is going to be 479 to 481. We're actually back to the 3 episodes stretch, man. We've been doing 4 episodes for a while now.
That means some important shit's going to happen.
Ace will live. Mark my words.
Nah, not even a little bit. It's still too close for him to die. We've got a couple more sets of episodes.
We got
to
a couple hundred to go through.
Yeah, for sure. Give it a couple hundred extra episodes. He'll be gone by then. All right. Moving on to quotes. I'll start this week. I really like this one-off quote. I don't know if it's translated 1-to-1, but at one point, what's Kobe? What's that? Helmeppo. Helmeppo, while hanging out with Kobe, saw Luffy like running through the city or whatever, and he goes like, he signed his own death warrant. He'll be dead before the ink can dry. I find that to be kind of fire for a one-off line, and I respected it, so I threw that in there. And Akainu versus Whitebeard. At one point, Akainu goes like, "Are you going to destroy this entire city?" And then Whitebeard snaps back with the, "Send me the bill for the repairs when we're done." That's it. That's all I got.
I'll let Christian go.
I mentioned Crocodile's quote after he murks the executioners. There was so Luffy meets my second favorite Marine, Momongus, for the first time.
He makes a return.
And when he first encounters Luffy, he goes, "Straw Hat Luffy, I, Momongus, won't let you pass through here." That's what he says. He says his name is Momongus. Won't let you pass through here in the name of the Navy Vice Admiral. And I don't remember what happened after that. I just wrote the quote down because it was funny.
You know, 200 episodes ago when Momonga was first introduced, did you think that you'd have this much attachment towards it?
I maybe not this level of attachment, but as soon as I attached his name became Momongus, he was like, he was a top 5 character.
He was etched into the forefront of Christian's brain forever.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters that I remember, and very many that I don't. But most of the ones that aren't the main crew have dumb, funny names. Some that I made up, like Momongus. Others that are their actual names, like Big Knife. Big Knife is the one I always go back to in terms of dumb names in unit. Big Knife. or my new favorite one, Drunk Uncle.
Wait, Trunk Uncle? Who's Trunk Uncle?
He's the I don't actually remember his he was one of the pirates who was imprisoned and impaled down that they randomly list off. I think he was called Heavy Drinker.
No. You're talking about Vasco's shot.
Yes, his Heavy Drinker is his
Heavy
nickname
Drinker,
though.
Vasco's
and
shot.
I turned that into Drunk Uncle instead.
Okay. Understood.
Anyway, on a slightly in more banter related quotations, there was Akainu facing down Whitebeard still after I don't know, they exchange a blow and it goes even or something, destroys a bunch of buildings. Akainu looks around and he goes, you gotta stop destroying the city. And Whitebeard snaps back with the, "I told you to protect it."
He challenges Akainu. He's like, if you're going to face me, you better be willing to prepare, to defend this place or whatever. And then, he comes back. He's like, "I thought you said we were going to defend it."
"I told you to protect this place. What are you doing, dude?"
I think that's the same line I had, but mine was changed to send me the bill when the damage is done. Yeah, I think that's my same quote.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
The only other one that I have a few other ones, but the only one I'm going to mention is Garp after he punches Marco and he sits down in a Kainu's chair. He goes, "If you want to go further, you're going to have to kill me first, rats."
Everyone's like, "Oh no."
Not
Do we
you
have
too.
to? I don't want
What
to,
if we just didn't, though?
Is it too late
Could
to turn back?
you also have a heart attack like Whitebeard is right now?
If only.
Yeah, can you do us a favor, Garp? Can you just like die on the floor like Whitebeard's starting to?
All right,
Did you go, Justin?
No, I mentioned my one quote earlier about him being wounded, and I would never die. It's a flesh wound. I only got two quotes. First one's from Kizaru. I think it might be in the very beginning of the set of episodes. I don't remember.
You're full of courage, aren't you? But take this word of advice. If you're simply not strong enough, no matter how courageous you may be, you won't even come close to saving him.
And the other one I have here is from Whitebeard. Speaking about Luffy.
He's nothing but a big-mouthed kid who goes looking for trouble. Dumb and clumsy, careless too. But I've got a soft spot for fools like him. If you're ready to die, step up and meet your maker!
Oh no, not again!
But I like fools like him. And then, looks over at Ace. And I'm like, oh, Luffy's got a new grandpa.
The way Whitebeard caught Luffy, too. He's just like...
just holding like a rag.
He's a fucking rag doll, dude.
He just tosses it to the surgeon. He's like, go take care of this idiot.
Take care of this fucking idiot.
But he look, he's holding Luffy by his ankles as he turns around and addresses the rest of his allies, and Luffy's just hanging there until finally he pulls him up a little so they're on eye level. Luffy upside down though, like they're about a Spider-Man kiss, and he looks him in the eye and he just mutters Ace or something. He basically tosses him over his shoulder and goes, "Get him some medical help or something. He's done enough."
God damn it. I also have I just wanted to end the night with a Buggy quote. That one time where they were like, even when he's in peril, Buggy shows us how to free all of our friends. What a hero. Okay, there we go. Now I'm done.
I love that quote from Future King of the Pirates.
Future King of the Pirates. Moving on to the Golden Ham.
I feel like there's only two contenders for this one in my mind.
I'm feeling either Garp or, and hear me out on this one, Kizaru.
What?
Because that dude is doing his job well, is all I'm saying.
Wild.
I feel like all three of them kind of are at this moment.
I guess that's fair too. They're all holding pretty tough out there, I suppose. But I just think that Kizaru is a vibe and a half. Also kicking the shit out of Luffy at every chance he gets, while simultaneously taking down Marco.
Wow,
I'm very surprised you didn't put Whitebeard up.
But yeah, in my head, I thought Whitebeard and Luffy would be top 2 easy in my brain.
No, fuck Luffy. Not fuck Luffy, but I don't think Luffy deserves a golden ham for this.
I love Luffy. I also love Whitebeard. I could give it to Whitebeard. I mean, I could be swayed if you guys are really feeling it. But honestly, even more than Whitebeard, I'd give it to Ace. Because I like the complexity of his character getting brought out in these set of episodes where he's like, I accept death, but it feels pretty good to be wanted right now. I'm not gonna lie. He's going through a lot of struggle right now that I can respect. But I also feel like Kizaru is definitely being a goat these days, taking out both Marco and Luffy in one fell swoop.
I feel like Whitebeard's on that same level for me, where this man is just 1v9ing, or even more than that.
Listen, he's taking out fodder, but like Christian said, all the heavy hitters from the Marines are still fine right now.
And so is Whitebeard. All right, that man is still standing. I think in and of itself is a feat.
I would justify Whitebeard more in the sense of being able to still maintain morale among his pirate crew and allied crew, despite the absolute beating he's taking right now.
Yeah, he even comments on it like he can't die.
He's still
like,
managing
he is
to keep them up.
You think this will stop me? That I'll lie down and give up? I'm not such a fool. I know what will happen if I falter, even for a moment. What will happen if I die? And knowing that cold truth, I can't allow myself to submit, not until the bitter end. So I'll wait until I've taken care of the future for my sons. Got it, Ace?
Oh, Pops.
He is both the commander all the way in the back telling everybody what to do and the drummer boy standing on the front line going absolutely ham on that thing, making sure everybody's got good tunes to murder to.
Despite his Iron Man cosplay, he's still holding morale real strong.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That would be my justification for Whitebeard, not necessarily the damage he's causing, because he's taking out no names. He's doing.
I respect it.
I think Whitebeard is like single-handedly carrying his front of the war. Like,
always has been.
Yeah.
Always has been.
He always has been. But no, I think it's more apparent and important in these sets of episodes.
All right, well, give me some firm answers. What do you guys feeling?
I'm definitely on the Whitebeard train.
Yeah, I vote for Whitebeard.
All right, well, you know, that is what it is. It doesn't matter what I pick. I pick Whitebeard too because I don't want to be held alone.
Imagine trying to convince me to vote for any Navy personnel during this war.
I think you're just biased.
Do I need to
man.
remind you that you voted for Boa Hancock last episode?
Yes, and I'd proudly do it again. Your point?
She's technically a Navy personnel.
She is anything but a Navy personnel. Let's get that straight.
I mean, she's employed by the Navy. That makes her personnel.
She
Let's
may
not
be
get it
taking their
twisted
money,
here.
but she is not doing her job.
No, on paper, she is Navy personnel. There is no.
If I go to Navy HQ, there's somewhere in there is a file cabinet with Boa Hancock's fingerprints that says she works for the government.
we also definitely gave it to Garp like 3 weeks ago too.
Yeah, well, Garp was a different man 3 weeks ago. Okay.
Okay.
Different man. Okay, whatever. All right. Well, moving on from Golden Ham, Whitebeard wins. Congratulations, big guy. We love them. We love the stash. Fan mail. We don't have any this week. So moving on to the grab bag.
Grab bag.
I do have a bag, but it's not the bag. So I hope that's okay.
What happened to the bag?
The grab bag is whatever you want it to be. It's like time. It's merely a construct.
Exactly. You know, the bag is really just the friends we made along the way, kind of like the One Piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Except Oda has promised that it's not. So
press X.
That seems like a bad comparison, if you ask me.
What do you mean press X to doubt? We've all established that Oda has promised that the One Piece, in part, is like some type of physical treasure, quote unquote.
I don't ever get to play devil's advocate anymore because all you guys suck. All right, so I just want to do it for one joke. Okay,
you want to play devil's advocate for probably the worst potential ending that One Piece could have? The friends we made along the way.
The lost version of One Piece.
Not as bad as that one time there was not one but two meteors at the same time.
Not really an ending to that show, but
oh, you're right. I forgot there was a moon goddess too at some point.
Yeah, there was a few things that happened after that point, but I see where you're coming from. I love that we keep coming back to this fucking planetary devastation move. It's so stupid.
So I got the grab bag and I don't care. One of you just fucking reach your hands in. Okay, don't all jump at the opportunity. Don't.
You do it.
Yeah, you do it. Your bag, your hand's going in it.
Shit, I didn't expect this.
You're all the way over there.
Why are you sweating so heavy for? It's just a bag. Just put your hand in there. It's just a grab bag,
It just so happens I have the real grab bag in my back pocket. Here, let me grab something from the grab bag.
Wait, if it's folded up in your back pocket, then what are you taking out of the bag so we can pick the grab bag?
I think you're asking a lot of questions, but it doesn't matter because I found the grab bag, so I'm just gonna go ahead and whoop. Oh, hey, look, we have a rain check this week. We haven't had one of these in a little bit.
Where's the high Qs? Who's rigging this to not do high Qs?
You know, it's funny you say that.
I'll
'Cause,
have you know that today a certain someone was supposed to be on the show because they said they'd be here for the next 3 weeks, and then they bailed 20 minutes before recording.
Carl,
and
what
their
the fuck,
intention was to provide us with a new potential grab bag idea. I have no idea what it is. I just had a title that I'll keep to myself. But yeah, that's what happened today.
So the answer to your question is, I don't know.
Bro, we're doing haikus next week. I'm putting it out there right now.
I
Haikus next
will
week.
firmly agree with this as much as I don't want to.
Haikus next week.
Okay.
Don't expect good ones, but they'll be there.
No, they'll be great. We've had 2 months to work on them.
No, we have. First of all, we do these like 30 minutes before the cast. Some of us do it during the cast. All right, like calm down.
What if we're saving haiku for a big event? All right, that's all I'm saying.
I'm definitely saving Brendan trivia for a big event. I gotta start working on that actually.
Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway, the rain check question this week is: what hooked you into anime? My answer is not really that long. If you just want me to start, I guess.
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Once upon a time, I was a child and I liked cartoons. And something called Toonami was regular on Cartoon Network. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I mean, I was like every other kid, right? Like I watched like SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron back in the day. But at one point, I remember I did catch Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z on Toonami. And I watched it like once, maybe twice over the course of like a couple of weeks. And then I realized the one thing that anime did, and like, fucking 8-year-old Brendan brain that I thought was fucking insane, was it was a cartoon with cool powers and shit that actually had a canonical connected storyline. 8-year-old Brendan was like, dude, this is crazy. They recognize shit. Like there's like things that happen and then they like recognize it and like a plot plays out. Like what the hell? We can watch this? And I was a big fan ever since. And then as I got older, I my interests have changed and morphed and whatever as most people's do over time. And but yeah, no, it all started with Dragon Ball Z, 100%. You go, you Toonami. I'll always appreciate what you did for me as a child.
Big same, honestly. Toonami is probably one of the biggest cultural influencers in my life in terms of what I consume and why I consume it and blah, 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 in terms of like anime and stuff like that. Shout out to Toonami. The like 10-year hiatus you guys had, fucking heartbreaking. Moving on. I guess I'll go next. I had a similar journey to Brendan, but I'll expand on mine a little bit more. I think what got me hooked onto anime is, one, the way anime was kind of just like embedded into Western like kids cartoon blocks, like without explicitly calling it anime, at least not to my knowledge. So like probably technically the first big anime I got into was Yu-Gi-Oh! And I just never knew that like Yu-Gi-Oh! Was quote unquote anime. I just saw it as, oh, it's a cartoon based on this card game I like. And I just fed back and forth on that relationship forever. And then, what was really big in my life growing up, so like Kids WB was a big cartoon block for me. So
Kids WB was sick.
Mega Man Anti-Warriors, like a really cool anime. What else was there?
There were 2 really good shows on Kids WB that I guess they weren't anime, but they were like heavily inspired by like what anime could offer. Shaolin Showdown.
Oh, huge.
And Jackie Chan Adventures were
also
fucking
huge.
fire.
For the culture.
They slap. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interject.
Those are absolutely beautiful shows that define my childhood. There's some other stuff on all the different like cartoon blocks for Saturday morning cartoons growing up. I just remember Kids WB a lot. And then Toonami comes in, introducing other type of more mature shows. Still in my head, I'm like, oh, this is just anime. And then still not knowing this is anime, there was one time I just kind of like stood up really late watching Cartoon Network and then eventually entered the Adult Swim block.
Yeah.
I don't think Toonami had officially like started taking over this segment yet, but I remember they were airing Inuyasha. Never heard of the show.
I too.
I just came across this one episode randomly. It was a very interesting episode to stumble upon. I haven't watched Inuyasha that much, so I can't really explain, any plot points. But in this particular episode, Kagome gets kidnapped by some random like ogre or some shit, right? And she's being, held captive in this house, but like she has enough freedom to like go take a bath, and so it's just kid Justin watching. She's not naked, but like it's kind of lewd, watching anime girl taking bath,
Classic.
Right? As Inuyasha goes looking for her, and so tween, preteen, probably age Justin, he's a little pervy, and I was like, ooh, what's going on here? So and then that was like my first introduction of like quote unquote like adult cartoons, and then Bleach came out, and I was really into Bleach. That was during Toonami, and then eventually at some point, I guess maybe I started talking to people, and they explained like what anime was to me, and I was like, oh, like I know that show. I really like that show. I didn't know it was this or that, and blah blah blah. So I think the short answer to summarize all of this is Saturday morning cartoons and the way Toonami and like these big cartoon channels really just like infused and embedded anime shows and culture into my everyday life without it seeming out of place. What about you, Crispy?
I have a much less storied history with anime, really. In a similar vein as you, I would watch reruns of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, but at the time, young me only recognizes that as a cartoon. I don't know what anime is. So it's just another cartoon that runs on my TV, and I like the games, and I play the card game, but it's not really until I hit my like first year of college, I think. Yeah. It was my first year of college that I really tried watching actual anime, because by that point I knew what anime was, but hadn't had any real desire to watch it. And I can't really say with any definitive certainty what was the reason I did what I did. But one day I just decided I was going to try and watch Naruto. And so I did. I started with the original Naruto series, started episode 1, hit up the most popular anime watching site at the time that may or may
watchcartoon.com.
Yeah, no, it was Kiss Anime.
Oh, okay.
Long live the legend.
Yeah. So, I mean, the rest is mostly history from there. I watched because I knew what anime was, but I didn't really have a concept of filler. So
yeah.
I watched every single episode of Naruto that existed. And at the time, Naruto, it wasn't done yet, because this was circa 2014. No, 2013. No. 2014. 2014 was when was when this all happened. So the Naruto Shippuden was in its later stages, of course, but it wasn't quite finished yet. And I watched all, I don't even know how many episodes that is, like 500 something, from the start of regular Naruto to where Shippuden was at that point, probably like 500-600 episodes.
Original Naruto was about 500 episodes long. It went into filler around episode like 370, so there was like 130 episodes of just straight filler in there in the original Naruto.
Yeah, so however many episodes there were at the time, in that several hundreds range, watched every single one of them, and then I probably stepped my way into our chat once and talked about this cool show that I watched called Naruto, and eventually it led to Jordy giving me lists on lists of other anime to actually watch that are good, instead of trudging through websites that are just going to recommend me the latest thing that could be hot garbage, as tends to be the case a lot of times. But
Jordy's like, hey, listen, we're friends. You don't have to be a weeb, but if you're gonna be a weeb, you better be cultured. Here's
you're gonna be a good one or a trash one, depending on how you would define it.
Right? Yeah. Depending on your perspective.
He would often reference Ryan, our other friend, as someone who is an absolute animal and just kind of watches whatever and enjoys just about any of it, no matter how bad it might be. and he would frequently reference Ryan as a bad person for having these takes about anime that are trash and thinking they were good. So, but in terms of like, so that's like my journey into the world of anime. But like the genre, the medium of anime itself is rather appealing because you get stuff out of it. It's not a cartoon like you would find on Cartoon Network. You get these more mature adult themes and stories, but you don't have the limitation of live action where you're limited to what the human body can actually do. You know, anime is nice. Animation as a whole is nice because you can have people and characters do all these fantastical things, have these magic systems and so on, that you obviously can't replicate in real life or replicate well, as we find out with many live action adaptations.
Can't wait for that One Piece live action.
Hell yeah.
I am
or the
excited,
Avatar
but
one.
also really scared. It's going to be an interesting time.
Do I think it's going to be very good? No. Do I think it has a chance? I think it has a better chance than a lot of live action anime adaptations. I'll say that
concur.
much.
But yeah, I think what kept me watching more and more anime was story. There's a lot of really cool stories that anime tells, and it reminds me of video games because my favorite video games to play are by far and away single player games. Multiplayer, hanging out with the boys is fun, but nothing beats like getting to the end of like a solid 30-40 hour single player game and having the story just be fucking mwah at the end of it. So
welcome to the Elden Ring cast, by the way.
No, I would not put Elden Ring is a good gameplay experience.
I'm kidding. Yeah, I know, but it's not.
I can bring back the Elden Ring facts if you want.
No, we're not doing that.
I got a stockpile.
No, we're good. We're good. All right, but thank you, Christian. Right? Yeah. You got it off your chest. You feel comfortable? You feel good?
I got one quick follow-up question. At what point did your mind
get ready to be here for another 30 minutes?
At what point did your mind become open to the concept of filler? Because, prior to that knowledge, my brain was just blissfully unaware. I was like, oh, that's just anime to be watching, right? That's just the content I got to be watching. And then you come across filler, the concept, and you're like, wow, I wasted so much time.
Another thing that I couldn't tell you the exact thing. My thinking is probably somewhere in line with when Jordy originally told me to watch One Piece. He recommended me the One Pace website, which cuts out all of edits the episodes down, so it's just like the important shit. So it cuts out these nonsense Kobe backstory or flashbacks, excuse me, and any other time it happens in the show, and so on and so forth. Chops out like the OPs and EDs in many of the early episodes, the 5-6 minutes that happen at the beginning of episodes now, that is just recap the previous ones, cuts all that shit out, just gives you what you're here for. So at that point, he probably explained to me what filler was if I didn't already know, but that would be my guess.
I want to say I probably only came across filler when I was like going through a wiki page for Naruto. Because at some point, like, the anime of base Naruto gets weird. It's like, where is this going? Why am I in this random village doing random bullshit?
And then you like don't meet these characters again. You just kind of like, all right, I guess.
Eventually, I just went like, because I think Shippuden was starting to roll out and was getting getting some juicy parts. So I was like, Shippuden's out. Maybe I should just like skip onto that because I feel like nothing important's happening in Naruto. And I started reading and digging and falling on this rabbit hole, and I'm just here like,
you were right.
None of this shit matters. All right, fuck this. After Sasuke retrieval arc, I think I tried watching whatever the last arc was with Gaara happening. I don't even know if that's canon. I said, fuck this. Went straight to Shippuden.
It is.
It is not canon.
Jesus
Christ.
The last 2 episodes of original Naruto are like technically canon.
No. I know this from experience because I done did it at once upon a time. They have a mini arc with Gaara at the last filler arc is a weird arc with Gaara, and like some motherfucker basically turns into like what Madara ends up doing at the end of Naruto anyway, partway through that little mini filler arc. I don't really understand it. And the only bit of it that was canon was the part where all of the other cadets were like, all right, now we're going to leave and go get stronger. It was like a 5-minute section at the end of the last episode of all that filler.
You see Naruto leave the village to go challenge Jiraiya for like 2-3 years or whatever.
Yeah, like he puts his fucking headband down and was like, or whatever the fuck he did. Actually, no, he kept his headband, didn't he? Yeah, because it like broke when he was training. I don't remember exactly what it all was, but I do know because I checked it and I was like, oh yeah, I just want to see like how much of this thing was filler and canon. And literally like the last 3 minutes of the very last episode are the only bits that are canon.
That just reminded me that I noticed in these episodes, it was probably there before, but I just didn't care enough to notice. But Buggy's hat is a Marine's hat, and he has the Marine logo crossed out, and I was like, Akatsuki. Akatsuki Buggy.
Akatsuki Buggy.
You don't have enough hatred, Luffy.
You don't have you don't have enough seagull. My fucking god!
You don't have enough chop.
I think we got there. I think we're at the end.
Mm-hmm. We've definitely been at the end.
Any of you guys want to do the next bit? Otherwise, I'll do it.
Brendan, do the thing.
All right. If you'd like to follow us, you can follow us at Panda Sightings on Twitter. You can also send us questions at pandasightings@gmail.com. You can also send us stuff on Instagram, also at Panda Sightings. And Dylan has said that I am not allowed. It has been completely redacted on ways that you can support us. So we will follow up with the appropriate way to financially support us if you so choose in the near future, we hope. And that is it. Thank you for listening.
That Marine's not dead.
Oh my god, if you don't stop with this propaganda, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
I'll stop when you guys stop simping for Hancock.
If he's not dead, then that dude on Skypiea is 100% fine. I don't even care.
What dude?
The one that allegedly
got hung.
Robin snapped.
You mean the
and
one that
dropped.
Robin snapped the neck of? And
no, he's fine.
And we heard and saw it. You mean?
Yeah, he's fine.
That's not the same thing. We have two fundamentally different arguments.
You know, I make a new rule. If it happens on camera, he's all right. How about that?
All right, find me another example of it in any medium ever.
Pell.
All right. Well. Did that explosion happen on screen? Did we see Pell in the middle of that explosion?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you sure he didn't like Team Rocket into the sky, went like twing and then exploded?
As the explosion happens, he gets literally physically erased in front of your eyes.
But, he was fine, so it doesn't matter.
I'm stopping my recording.
Listen up, pirates! Bring Ace to safety! And once you're done with that, destroy the Navy!
Are you with me, Garp? I fear we can't hold back anymore. This battle may be our last.
Don't worry, Ace. I'm coming for ya!